Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second last episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, we're going to take a look at together Carl's letter to Rick. And spoiler warning, as per usual, if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 14. So I'll put the link in the description for this one for you guys to comicbook.com so you can check out the letter in detail for yourselves and kind of read through it if you want to after you're done watching this one. And I'll also, we'll get into some Q&A questions after this. But yeah, comicbook.com. The opening minutes of The Walking Dead 8:15 sees Rick read Carl's letter written to him on Carl's last day on Earth. So that'll be this Sunday's episode, second last episode of Season 8. The doomed Carl penned the letter to his father upon finding out he had suffered an incurable walker bite. Despite urging from Michonne, a grieving Rick has been unable to bring himself to read Carl's words. Quote unquote, Carl wrote that because he wanted you to read it. Michonne tells him in 8:14. It was one of the last things he ever did. A teary-eyed Rick just can't do it. Rick is inspired to read Carl's letter following his slaughter of the escaped savior prisoners of war in 8:14, tells executive producer Tom Luis, who says Rick realizes that violence for violence sake is not enough, so he reaches out to Carl for guidance. On a sunny day at the hilltop on a porch overlooking his whole world, Rick opens the letter. And so here's what it says. Carl's letter opens with him reminiscing about his 8th birthday and Aunt Evie. Or Eve. He remembers his mother, Lori. He remembers his school and going to the movies. And Friday night pizza, cartoons, and grandma and grandpa in church. Those summer barbecues and the kiddie pool, you got me. Could have used that at the prison, the letter reads. It says, you told me about the walks we'd take when I was 3, you holding my hand around the neighborhood all the way to Ross's farm. I didn't know that I remember them, but I do, because I see the sun and the corn and that cow that walked up to the fence and looked me in the eye. And you told me about all that stuff, but it isn't just that stuff. It's how I felt. Holding your hand, I felt happy and special. I felt safe. Then it says, I thought growing up was about getting a job and maybe a family, being an adult, but growing up is making yourself and the people you love safe. As safe as you can, because things happen. They happened before. You were shot before things went bad. Kind of felt like things went bad because you were shot. I want to make you feel safe, Dad. I want you to feel just like I felt when you held my hand. Just to feel that way for 5 minutes, I'd give anything to make you feel that way now. I wanted to kill Negan. I wish I did. Maybe it would have been done. I don't think it's done now. You went out there again, but I don't think they surrendered. I don't think they will surrender. There are workers there, Dad. They're just regular people, old people, young people, families. You don't want them to die, Dad. We're so close to starting everything over, and we have friends now. It's the bigger world Jesus talked about, the kingdom, the hilltop. There's got to be more places, more people out there, a chance for everything to change and keep changing. Everyone giving everyone the opportunity to have a life, a real life. So if they won't end it, you have to. You have to give them a way out. You have to find peace with Negan. Find a way forward somehow. We don't have to forget what happened, but you can make it so that it won't happen again. That nobody has to live this way. That every life is worth something. Start everything over. Show everyone that they can be safe again without killing. They can feel safe again. That it can go back to being birthdays and school and jobs and even Friday night pizza somehow. And walks with a dad and a 3-year-old holding hands. Make that come back, Dad, and go on those walks with Judas. She'll remember them. I love you, Carl. So that's it for the letter, and like I said, you guys can go through it yourselves if you want to. So what we pretty much have here is, first you have Carl reminiscing about his life kind of before the zombie apocalypse and kind of regular normal life, and kind of setting it up for Rick here that that's what he wants Rick to achieve, and he wants him also to achieve peace. He doesn't really want everybody to die, all the saviors to die. He's not sure if they're going to surrender or if Rick's going to be able to kill Negan. So he wants him to somehow find peace with Negan, find a way forward somehow, start everything over, show everyone they can be safe again without killing. They can feel safe again, that it can go back to being birthdays and school and jobs and even Friday night pizza somehow. So a pretty sad, letter to read through. So that'll be probably included, like they said here, in the beginning of episode 15, which I think the clip, you can even watch it online now. I think comicbook.com has that as well too. So a pretty sad letter from Carl to Rick here. Is it enough to change Rick to not kill Negan? I think, with the right timing, like with him going through it right now after what they just did with the escaped saviors from the hilltop. Tricky decision. So in that episode, in episode 14, you see Rick and Morgan kill all of the escaped and stab in the back, really, with a hatchet, with an axe. One of them who seemed to be helping Rick and helping the others and kind of earning his place there. It's always tricky whether or not you're going to be able to trust people. You can see also Rick and Morgan's perspective there, that even if they want to cooperate and go back at that time, there's no telling what would happen if Negan and the Saviors attack and then they're on the survivors' side. Can you trust them enough to fight back against Negan and fight back against the Saviors? And if the Saviors seem to be getting the upper hand, are they going to stay loyal to you, to the survivors, and fight back against them? These are tough questions for sure, and I don't know if you can really say it kind of felt wrong for Morgan and Rick to just kill all the ones that had escaped, especially the one that was helping them and everything, and stabbing them in the back in that way, and that they really didn't have to. But it's also difficult to trust members of the other community that had just been attacking you and doing all these things and making you be enslaved to them before in season 7, right? So, is it worth them killing Carl off in the series? I don't think so. I mean, episode 9, Honor, was really a memorable episode for The Walking Dead. It was really something, and I guess they have to find some way to have it make sense for Rick not to kill Negan, and this is kind of the way they went through that. I think they've used Simon really well, too, to kind of show that even if you were to kill Negan or you were to take Negan out, you would just have someone like Simon take over, and he could be even worse, in which case Simon is really worse than Negan, I want to say. If you lose to Simon, he'll kill all of you, and we've seen what that looks like. But at least with Negan, he would give you a chance to work, and slavery's bad, but it's better, I think, than mass murder, than just genocide, right? So is what it is. So for that one, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. And now that it's been a few episodes since the mid-season premiere, we're almost at the end of this season now. Do you think it was worth it for them to kill Carl off to get this kind of stuff in there? How do you feel about the Carl death now? Do you think it shouldn't have happened and it wasn't worth it? Or do you think that after, reading this and kind of seeing episode 9 that it made sense and it would be enough to convince Rick not to kill Negan? I suppose, if it's Carl's kind of dying wish not to kill a lot of the Saviors, and Rick is going through it now and having just killed some and maybe feeling guilty about having killed them when he might not have had to, then certainly I think it could be enough to naturally urge him against that and say, okay, I'm not going to kill everybody. If we defeat the Saviors, we're not going to massacre them like they did to the Junkyard Group. Instead, we're going to, just treat everybody, find peace again and have them be their own community and just be a part of a joint greater communities in season 9 and going forward. So pretty cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in the episode this weekend. Also, there is a new kind of behind the scenes for the Fear the Walking Dead season 4. It's kind of like a behind the scenes trailer, so I'll have a link in the description to that as well for you guys. So you can go ahead and check that through. It's pretty cool. It's got some new clips and stuff like that that in it that we haven't really seen, or just kind of some different looks on things. And they also mentioned that in that one, Fear the Walking Dead is going to be playing with time a lot. So you have probably the beginning of the season, it looks like, where you're meeting Morgan, you're having the groups meet each other at a certain time, and then maybe later on in the season they show kind of how they got there. At some point they show what that journey was like for them to kind of get there and what their time was like throughout it. So you kind of have maybe, current time being shown at the beginning, and then you kind of go back a bit, it sounds like, and you do some kind of flashback episodes, or some scenes at least, and kind of show how the Fear group got from Mexico at the border there to Texas, which is where most likely we're going to be seeing it in that stadium taking place. So just a few questions for today's video, guys. As per usual, if you have any others, you can send them to me, and I can do at least one more before Sunday night's episode. Danny DeVito says, when do you think my guy Heath comes back? We have a few episodes left, and I'm pretty sure it was confirmed he comes back. Big fan, Trev. Hope you read this. So for Danny, I just decided to include this because I think it's going to be the finale, because we have 2 left, so we're definitely looking for it. The finale, I think, is the one. So I don't think we'll see it tomorrow or the next night, Sunday night. I think it'll be next Sunday with the finale. Epic Zombie Killer says, hey, Trev, I'm curious on why you haven't gotten Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 on DVD or Blu-ray, and will you? If so, are you going to unbox it? P.S. Keep up the awesome work. So I intended to buy Fear the Walking Dead Season 2. I have Season 1. I never bought Season 2, and I never bought Season 3. Even though I kind of wanted to, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I guess I could buy it to kind of unbox it with you guys and kind of go through that. The thing is that whether or not it's, kind of worth it to do. I'm just not sure about Fear. I don't know how many seasons it's going to last for, whether or not it's worth it to collect it. I haven't collected any of the figures from Fear, and we'll have to see how Season 4 turns out. Like, if Season 4 is like, wow, amazing, then I might decide, okay, I'll buy the prior seasons, and if I do, I'll show them with you guys. The thing is that with those, they do take some time. Basically, I buy the season, I go through all the features on the Blu-ray DVD, and then I do a review with you guys to let you know whether or not it's worth buying and what the DVD Blu-ray has that you can't get otherwise. The thing is with Fear is that there aren't really that many hardcore fans with Fear like there are for Walking Dead, where we'd want to know what the deleted scenes are. If Rick has a scene with Lori deleted in Season 3 where she turns into a zombie as he's kind of seeing her and stuff, that's a selling point. That's something where I would buy it to see that and then share it with you guys, let you guys know about that, because it's really cool. But for Fear, I don't know if Fear is at that kind of level to where it's like you buy it and you go through it and, you're hardcore like that. I'm sure some of you guys are like that for Fear. I'm not sure about the majority of us, and I don't want to, I produce enough Fear videos already. I'm not sure how many more I want to kind of add in with you guys, because I'm just not sure how you guys feel about it. I've been supporting Fear since the first season it started, and in the first season a lot of people were into it, but the second and third season it was just negative, always just and I enjoyed it, but just negative effect. So if I'm going to go and spend the money and buy this stuff, publish the videos, and then people are going to unsubscribe because they don't want to see it or stuff like that, it's why bother? Why do that if it's just going to upset some people? So that's kind of why I didn't buy it. But I might eventually if Season 4 is really hot. So we're going to have to see how it turns out and how good it is. Matt L. says, I think Father Gabriel persuades Eugene into rigging the bullets. This would give so much purpose to Father Gabriel's episode. He thought he was following the path to get the doctor back to the hilltop, but his actual path was to get to Eugene to rig the ammo, since the hilltop has a replacement doctor already, which will ultimately save all of his friends' lives. What do you think, Trev? So if the Saviors have the numbers, which it looks like they do, and then they think they all have ammo and they're ready to go and they're firing, and you're just getting blanks or it's chugging up or something's happened to their weapons where it's not actually firing through, you're getting a malfunction, right? If they're just chugging up and just not working. Man, that could be really effective, because if they find out during battle that, and then Rick and the others have their guns, and oh man, they're going to be screwed. So maybe that is how kind of the final battle ends here, and maybe that is what happens with Eugene. Maybe Rosita and Daryl talk him into it or something. We'll see, man. That could be really good if they do that, though, because then they'll have all these weapons and they'll think they're good, and then at the very worst moment, the Saviors are going to find out that they are jacked, and then they're going to get smoked, right? Because they won't be ready to switch to their other weapons so quickly. They'll be their whole strategy will be screwed, right? So that could work out really good. And if we're going to see it, it's probably going to be, this episode, because we only have 2 left. So if there's anything else you thought might be in the season, like, we got to see it now. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Like characters like Sherry and, Heath and that, it's got to be coming up soon. Otherwise, it's not happening at all. Ben Wendell says, Trev, did you notice how Sebastian said new people, right? I love new people. Isn't there a similar line in Fear the Walking Dead Season 4? Any comments on this? Surely not a coincidence. So that is for the Walking Dead comic book series. New character named Sebastian in the Commonwealth has been introduced. And that's true, because Al says that in the trailer for Fear. And I did think of that when I read it. I just didn't remember to comment on that in my review for the comic series. Did a review for the comics on Wednesday, if you guys didn't see it. New issue of The Walking Dead was out. So, and last will be from the crazy guy who says this finale is going to be too amazing. It's going to be amazing, man. So, and I'm really looking forward to it. The episode 16 should be great. It being extended, Fear the Walking Dead afterwards, Survivor Sunday they're calling it. I booked some time off work, so I'm excited for it. So it's going to be great, man. I'm really looking forward to it, and that's what it's all about. I mean, really, The Walking Dead has some of the best episodes ever. If you think of like those finale type episodes for Walking Dead, Too Far Gone, No Sanctuary, The Day Will Come When You Won't Be, all those final kind of battle type of things in the story arcs are some of the best in any series ever. So I'm really excited to see the final confrontation, Saviors versus Survivors. Season 8 is gone, and All Out War took up the entire thing, plus some of Season 7. Certainly, the TV series version did All Out War justice, I think. My opinion, anyway. If you guys like today's video, please don't forget to thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it, and you can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom. Click the bell to turn on the notifications, and that'll be it for today's video. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon. Just subscribe somehow.